Good morning. It's Friday, September 24th, and decided to do a early morning Fertilizer Friday for a change. It's been about 50 degrees overnight here with a high of mid 70s, so it's certainly cooling off a little bit, but it's still good pepper growing weather and should be here for another month or two at least until about mid-November when the first frost hits. So just a quick recap of kind of everything and how it's growing here. Got a small Mad Hatter that's still producing a few fruits there. A small Nagla Red in the background there. It looks like two nice red mature peppers ready to be picked. And then I've got two Pink Tigers. There's a few in there towards the back that look like they're ready to be picked, almost turning that solid purple color. The rest of them are kind of still maturing and turning their colors there, but I've got one in a decent sized pot and the other one in I believe that's like a 5-gallon or so grow bag, so those have done equally well in those containers. Let's see, down here we've got our Amnesia Pepper, a relatively small one, but still producing quite a few. That one's just about ready to be picked there, maybe a little green on the bottom, but there's certainly a couple other ones that are ready to go. Made some super spicy sauce with these with a little bit of brown sugar to kill that heat. But this one's still flowering nice too after I picked a few of these a few days ago, so that one's doing really well. We've got our Black Pearl here, some more turning colors, plenty of the red berries that haven't turned yet. This one again, really cool pepper plant. Its leaves are green until they are exposed to the sun, and then they turn that nice dark black purple color. Here's a Habanero, which now is loaded with nice orange peppers. You can see that one there is probably close to the biggest of the bunch, and that one's about 3 inches or so long. And there's several other ones in there all ready to go. So this one's really starting to produce. And for some reason they're a little bit later than all the other ones, the Habaneros are, but then once they get producing, they really put them out. And then in the back there's the chocolate Habanero, and you can see there's a couple there that are ready. And then in the background, looks like a few more ready there. And then a few more kind of growing up the plant. So that one's not too far behind. I've picked only about 10 or 15 of the chocolate ones so far, maybe about the same of the orange Habanero, maybe a few more, but they're coming along, they're producing good now. So here's a couple of still to be determined ones. I got to do some research on these. These were mismarked from the nursery, but they are producing nice solid white peppers, and then still doing putting out plenty of flowers there as well. So you can see those, and they should have enough time to mature by the end of the season here. Here's my Jigsaw, which have not turned any red yet, but this one's just loaded. This one's in a 5-gallon bucket here, and there are plenty of peppers on this little plant and plenty of flowers coming out too. So those will be nice and hot. I grew some of those last year on a couple different bushes, and I think each of the plants produced well over 100, 150 peppers. So certainly looking forward to that. Here's my Thai chili or Cayenne pepper plant. There's a couple of them in this big blue pot here. I picked a number of these, all the red ones at least, a few days ago, and then now these other ones are starting to ripen up, which is nice. But then I've also noticed there's a ton of new flowers coming out here as well. So these plants have really produced a lot of pepper so far, probably the most of any of the varieties that I'm growing. Here's another Amnesia plant. You can see there's plenty more of these peppers to go. I'll pick those, and hopefully that'll keep producing nice. And then a Brazilian starfish in the back. This plant is just growing all over the place, kind of falling over itself due to its height and its weight there, but I just kind of let that one go. Get some more Thai chilies or cayennes there. I need to really pick some of those. And plenty of green ones coming right behind, also flowering nice. Here's a small Thai dragon with a few new red ones. I did pick quite a few off there last week or so, so those are kind of replenishing. I've got a Mad Hatter in the background. Looks like a couple more large red peppers ready to be picked. Here is my scorpion peppers. There, looks like I got a few new ones. And that's a mix of the scorpion and the ghost pepper. There's a small death spiral pepper. I've yet to pick those. There's just those first few just finally turned into solid red. They almost look like nice large strawberries in size. So I'll be looking forward to trying those. And then here's big black mamas. I'm also waiting for those to fully ripen, and it looks like over the past few days that they have, so it'll be interesting to try those as well. And that again is just out of a 7-gallon grow bag. Here's another pink tiger I have. This one's growing out of the ground as opposed to the other ones that were in a pot. Nice thick woody stem on that one. These guys are kind of just slowly maturing. Here's a chocolate habanero, or excuse me, a chocolate lava. And I did pick quite a few of these last week, so they're just catching up, and some of the older ones are finally turning a little bit, and there are some new flowers on these too. So the quicker I pick these, as well as all the other peppers, the quicker they can turn the other ones their mature color, whether that's red or orange, or in this case a nice chocolate color, and then start on some new flowers as well. Let's see over here, got a few tomatoes in the background growing out of a bucket on a ladder. And then kind of buried under here, I do have another chocolate lava. This one, instead of in a 5-gallon bucket, I've got growing out of the ground. So probably a few more in here mature that are ready to be picked. And then my cappuccino lava. I picked about 15 or so of these in the past few days, and so most of these on here right now are green with some new flowers forming, so should be plenty more coming out of this one as well, and a nice woody stem on this one. This one also grown in a 7-gallon grow bag, which I tried for the first time this year, and they've worked pretty well. I just got those off of Amazon. I think they were about $1 per bag, but they're lightweight, sturdy, breathable. Water drains out of them real nice, and then when I collapse everything down for the winter season, they'll be easy to clean and store. So I think that was a successful new product I tried this time. So anyway, a quick rundown of everything. I did just tally up all the peppers that I picked so far, and so far just over 1,000 peppers here through just yesterday. So the goal this year was 2,500, so well on the way, almost halfway, picking about 50 to 100 peppers per day or so, sometimes more, sometimes a little bit less, but either way it looks like I've got at least another 100 just in this bunch here that I showed to pick, and that doesn't count the ones out on the deck and the ones out in the garden. That'll probably add another 50 potentially. So I think we're well on our way to hitting our goal of 2,500, so I'm looking forward to that. I also made probably about 12 or 15 different types of hot sauces with all these peppers. So I think we're going to do a separate video showing off all of those, or at least some of them anyway. Some kind of experimental, some that I think I've nailed down the recipe and have made a few more than just a couple sample bottles. So looking forward to cranking out a few more of those. They seem to be pretty well received so far. So anyway, happy Fertilizer Friday. Hope everybody has a good weekend, and looking forward to the rest of the pepper grow season.